Hello, Frugal fans. Once again, this is Captain Frugal, and I'm away on off location there out of my office once again. And I'm doing this video. I've had this one brewing for a little while, and I asked about this on Twitter a while ago. And what I did was I asked the people on Twitter to ask me a question, and I would answer it on a YouTube video. And one of the questions I received that I really liked, and I wanted to dive into, was from here as from Spike, as you see. So give him credit for that. And he does not suck. He's a brilliant guy. Go check out his channel, by the way. And his question was, how would you fix Marvel if you were appointed editor-in-chief? And I didn't want to just jump off and do this one real quick, so I apologize for the wait, but I wanted to think about it for a little while. First, yes, it'd be easy to go with the old stereotype. I would clean house and wipe out everything, but I wanted to go more detailed than that. So let me start here. First, I would focus on better PR. I will look throughout the organization. I would change things at the organizational level to focus more on PR. And the main goal of that PR would be to restore trust in the organization with the fans. Because right now, fans of the Marvel characters have really lost trust in Marvel. Too much gimmicks, too many promises with poor deliveries, as well as poor treatment of the customer base. I would work hard to restore that. Number two, I would work on finding experienced and proven editors and start putting them in place so we can get these books and things back on track and stop with these silly errors. I mean, granted, any time to human is error, but the amount of errors coming from Marvel right now is atrocious, and people like Tom Brevoort will do everything to avoid that and admit that overall that's just unprofessional. Now, another thing I would do is make a policy throughout the organization that the comic book stories have to trump political agendas. I know, little pun intended there. In other words, I'll allow a little political once in a while, especially if it's neutral or if it gives both views, but this ham-fisted crap continuously being pounded in people's faces absolutely has to stop. If a story comes to a desk like that, it is not to pass and it is to be rewritten. That will stop that writer stuff eventually when they have to actually do more work and quit throwing out political trash. The next one is I would increase the focus on good art. Marvel has lost focus on art. They're going on the cheap. Don't get me wrong, there is still some good art in Marvel, but there's a lot of really bad art, and it shows. I would put the focus back on art as well. Let's start looking for good talent as well as new talent. There's a lot of great new talent out there that's better art than what I'm seeing there. So definitely a lot there. Now, another one is I would increase the search for good talent, especially in the writing area. I would be stop looking on Twitter and things for social justice warrior hacks that just have an agenda. I would be looking for tried and true talent. Try to mix some old school talent that's been proven and have them groom the newer talent with great potential and build on those things. All right. And then number six, I would start a marketing plan that's going to focus on better overall distribution to grow the base of the comic books. As well as by growing the base at the same time, you should be able to reduce price point due to economies of scale, with the goal initially to get the price down to $2.99 or even better yet, $2.50 an issue. If we can get comics on store shelves again, start getting more recognition, match them to what people's expectations are with good stories, that should increase readership. Therefore, the economies of scale would greatly reduce the per issue cost point to make and be able to reduce the cost of the issues and retain profitability and, if anything, make more profit. But that will take work and it takes an effort and it takes risk. Number seven, I would reduce the events. Event fatigue is clear. Though events sell well, there's still event fatigue, and eventually it pushes people away. I would reduce it to no events at least for one full year, just to get the books back on track and focused on character. Let's focus the books on character. And then after that, put at the max one event per year. And with that involved, that event should not have to tie in all the books. It can have those characters, but it does not derail the character's current progression and storylines. People are tired of reading about a character and their storyline get totally derailed for an event, and writers have a hard time with that too, and it destroys their story. So I want to get back focused on good characters and good story. Number eight would be hold a social media professionalism seminar and where all employees at Marvel have to attend. Understand how the impacts of what they do on social media is and what it's doing to the client base and creating divisiveness and animosity, as well as professional conduct. They're not as bad at the con, but they're terrible online. Now, also throughout that policy, a form will have to be signed and things, and a new conduct policy will be rolled out within the company. Yes, I understand people have should be able to have free speech and things like that, but when you represent a company, it's just that you represent a company. And any other company, a lot of this stuff would that they've been doing would get you fired, and it's time to put that in line. And lastly, number 9, I would issue an apology to the fans with a detailed promise that this type of thing will not happen again. This we will prevent, as long as I'm in charge, the social media thing. And if something does slip through, there will be strong repercussions for it. Now, with that said, some people might go, well, wait a minute, why didn't you clean house with the writers and things? Like, well, how could you not fire Slot? And the reason is, with these steps put in place, that should knock them back on track. Believe it or not, Slot can actually write pretty good in most cases if he's kept on good track. And I think with a good editor, he can do that as well as some of these other writers. They have some talent. They just need to be forced to stay on track. But if not, it's clear they will be terminated due to the policy. So if they do get terminated, it's not just coming in cleaning house, it's because they couldn't get it in gear. So it gives them a chance. And why I say that's important is the management currently allowed this to happen and allowed this animosity and this behavior to grow. It would be pretty unfair to come in and just chop it off right off the bat, even though it should have been common sense. This gives them a one more chance to get it together and get it in line and clean up your house. Otherwise, you're going to be out. All right, I'd like to thank Spike for this opportunity with that great question, and I appreciate you listeners for listening to this. If you did enjoy this, please be sure to hit like and subscribe. And if you want to make sure you see this, hit that notifications bell. I've been finding out a lot of my stuff hasn't been going that way, and it's been impacting me. And if you really truly want to support me, go to my VidMe channel. Just go to VidMe and go Captain Frugal. You'll see me there. And there's two ways you can help support me on my channel. One is to subscribe for as little as $1 a month, and the other one is you can even give me a tip. All right. And if this continues to grow and do good, and I truly appreciate that, maybe eventually I'll put a Patreon. So let me know in the comments, should I have a Patreon? But also let me know in the comments, what would you do if you were editor-in-chief? What would you differently than what I said? Or what would you do in addition to? And let me know. I'm really looking forward to your comments. Until next time, keep it frugal.